What's up everyone? I want to talk about Mass Effect's choices and why they're special. Throughout the entire trilogy there has been dozens upon hundreds of choices you've had to make. And the whole aspect of these choices is central to Mass Effect, its core. It is literally one of its main components and one of the main things you think about the Mass Effect trilogy in general. And there's been plenty of games that have offered the aspect of making choices, but never to the extent that Mass Effect did. I mean, there's so many great examples of why the choices are special, but the main thing that makes Mass Effect's choices stand out from other games is that in most games, the choices matter in that single game. Like, for example, like Walking Dead, the Telltale's Walking Dead. They have choices in this 5-episode format, and they make all these choices. But the thing is, it's all one single game. There's Season 1. Of course, some of these choices travel over to Season 2, but Mass Effect is a much bigger scale than that. Like, for example, there's so many choices you make, going from these major choices that do have a direct impact to the future games in Mass Effect, like from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. But the thing that really makes it special is the effort and detail Bioware put into the minimal choices, the ones that you could just sweep away. Like, there's a lot of these choices in Mass Effect 1, for example. Like, I believe there's this one Follis that you can help on Novaria. I think you either save his partner or you help him some way. It's been a while, but I remember this one sequence. And if you do help him, in Mass Effect 2, you don't see him again, but you do get an email sent to your private computer, and it will say, it's the Follis writing back to you saying, I believe it's something like, I don't know if I'm still back there getting killed right now, or if this is all a dream. But just in case it isn't, I just want to say thank you. It's small, it's very insignificant in the overall plot of the Mass Effect trilogy, but it's a nice detail, and it really fleshes out the world. It makes it feel alive, it makes it feel like these are living inhabitants. And it really shows that your choice, while it doesn't matter technically in terms of something changed, it does show that that the choice did have some form of impact on something in that world. And I think that really shows the effort that the Mass Effect trilogy has. Despite what you think of Mass Effect 3's ending and certain aspects of it, you cannot deny that there was a lot of good closure to some of the choices. One of my favourite aspects of this, Conrad Forner, I believe. Well, what can I say? Everyone knows Conrad Forner. This is like the perfect example of the sort I tell you about the choices and why they're so good in the Mass Effect trilogy. I mean, you meet him in the first game and he seems to be this like crazy fan and all that. But then you move to the second game and now he's pretending to be you. Be separate in this bar and you shoot him in the leg and all that. But then you meet him in the third game and you find out that he's a doctor. And it turns out that this also intersects with another thing. In the first game there wasn't even a choice. It's just if you bought these licenses in the first game, you had to buy these licenses to be able to buy the guns on the Normandy instead of travelling back to the Citadel to buy guns at the actual stores. And if you bought these, you were, depending on if you bought them or not, and Conrad Forner is there in the Citadel in Mass Effect 3, you can save a bunch of lives and complete this tiny mini side mission that doesn't really matter again in Mass Effect 3. And it's not crucial or big to the overall plot, but it just shows that these little things do matter and these do connect through all the trilogy of games. And let's be honest, that's the reason that we play Mass Effect so much. It's for the characters, and it's for the different choices and different outcomes and the small little things that you would miss that just keep showing up. I mean, I've played Mass Effect several times over the years upon years upon years, and I am still finding small new things to this day, and that really shows how good this trilogy is and how much effort and detail was put into it. And that is why I think Mass Effect stands as the main example of how to do choices in a video game. Now, sure, in Mass Effect 3, the choice didn't expand to crazy countless proportions. But what they did do, I think they did very well, and for what they did have to work with, I think they did an admirable job. And a lot of choices, and there's always these little references to other things we did back, and I think it's just really good. I think they did a really good job with it, and I know this is like, why would you be talking about this now? The Mass Effect trilogy is over and done with. I understand that, but I just wanted to make this video about the choice. I've been playing Mass Effect 3 recently, and I think it's great. And I just want to speak about how the choices I think were really well done and why they're special. And which is one of the main reasons why Mass Effect will be remembered as one of the biggest gaming trilogies, not only last generation, but in gaming itself. That's all I wanted to say about this video. If you enjoyed, comment, subscribe and all that. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead. I enjoy talking back to you with feedback and all that. And as always, I'll see you next time.